Hello everyone, today we will be diving deep in the other parts of equipment for podcasting, including audio interfaces and recording devices. One of the most important pieces of equipment for podcasting is the audio interface. This device acts as the bridge between your microphone and your computer, converting analog sound into digital data for recording. Without an audio interface, your microphone signal wouldn't be usable for your computer. What audio interfaces do? At their core, audio interfaces convert analog signals from microphone or instruments into digital signals. This is called analog to digital conversion, AD. They also perform digital to analog, DA conversion, to allow you to hear the playback of your recording. Analog signal is a continuous signal that represents physical measurements in a form that resembles the original sound, light, or other physical phenomena. It varies smoothly over time, capturing fluctuations in sound, temperature, or other real-world variables. Analog signals are represented by a sine wave and have infinite possible values within a given range. For example, the sound captured by a microphone or other voltage fluctuation in an electrical wire. Digital signals is a discrete signal that represents data using binary code 0s and 1s. Unlike analog signals, which vary continuously, digital signals are made up of distinct and separate values at specific intervals. Digital signals are less prone to degradation and can be easily manipulated, stored, and transmitted. Examples: the data stored in a computer of the signal processed by a digital audio interface. Sound cards, where the audio interface is an external bridge between the computer and the audio equipment. A sound card is installed directly into the body of the machine to extend the audio capabilities of your PC. Keep in mind that generally speaking, an external interface will be superior to an internal sound card. The card includes digital to analog converters for audio outputs and analog to digital converters for audio inputs. There are several audio interfaces available, each suited for different podcasting setups. Here are some popular ones. Focusrite Scarlett series, affordable and reliable, ideal for beginners and intermediate podcasters. Offer models with 2 to 8 inputs, perfect for solo or multi-person podcast. Audient ID4, compact yet powerful, known for its high-end preamps, ideal for solo podcasters or smaller setups. PreSonus AudioBox USB, a budget-friendly option with straightforward controls, great for simple setups. Universal Audio Apollo Twin, a higher-end option for professionals, featuring superior preamps and onboard DSP, digital signal processing. When selecting an audio interface for podcasting or any audio production, two key factors to consider are number of inputs, outputs, and the type of connectivity the interface offers. These elements are crucial for ensuring that the interface meets your recording needs, whether you are working solo or with a group, and that's compatible with your equipment. Inputs, outputs. 1-2 inputs. If you are a solo podcaster or conducting one-to-one interview, if you're a solo podcaster or conducting one-to-one interview, an interface with 1-2 inputs is generally sufficient. This allows you to connect 1 or 2 microphones, making it ideal for basic setups. An example is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which is widely used by podcasters. 4-8 inputs. For 8 inputs. For more complex setups, such as hosting panel discussions, roundtable podcasts, or recording multiple participants at once, you'll need an interface with more inputs. Having 4-8 inputs allow you to connect multiple microphones and other audio sources simultaneously. A popular option for these scenarios is the Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. Connectivity options: USB. This is the most common type of connectivity for entry-level to mid-range audio interfaces. It's highly compatible with both Windows and Mac systems and is ideal for most podcasting needs. Thunderbolt. This connection type provides faster data transfer rates and lower latencies than USB, which means less delay in the sound you hear during recording or playback. Thunderbolt is typically found in high-end professional-grade interfaces such as the Universal Audio Apollo Twin. USB-C, increasingly common in newer devices, USB-C offers speed similar to Thunderbolt and provides more flexibility in terms of compatibility with modern laptops and tablets. Many new audio interfaces like the PreSonus Studio 24C. Now let's discuss the technical settings you need to consider when working with audio interfaces and recorders. Sampling rate and bit depth. Sampling rate refers to the number of times per second an audio analog signal is measured or sampled when converting it into a digital format. It's measured in kilohertz. Common sampling rates include 44.1 kHz used for CDs and 48 kHz standard for video and broadcast audio. A higher sampling rate results in better audio quality, as it captures more detail from the original sound. Bit depth refers to the number of bits used to represent each audio sample in digital audio recording. It determines the dynamic range of the audio, meaning the difference between the quietest and loudest part of the sound. Common bit depths include 16-bit used for CDs and 24-bit used in professional audio recording. A higher bit depth allows for more detailed and accurate sound reproduction, capturing more subtle nuances and reducing noise in the recording. Phantom power is a method of supplying electrical power to condenser microphones through the same XLR cable that carries the audio signal. It provides the necessary voltage, typically 48 volts, to operate the internal electronics of the microphone, which require power to function properly. Preamps. Preamplifier is a device that amplifies weak audio signals, like those from microphones, to a level suitable for further processing of amplification. It ensures that the audio signal is strong and clear without introducing noise or distortion, making it crucial for achieving high-quality sound in recording. Portability and power options consider battery life and SD card capacity for portable recorders. For example, the Zoom H6 runs on AA batteries, while some interfaces like the Universal Audio Apollo Twin need an external power source. So now coming to understanding the different types of sound. Let's study it in depth. Dialogue, the spoken word in podcasts, typically the voice of host or guest. Key to clarity is proper microphone placement, use of pop filters, and minimizing background noise.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. So, Marco, what are we talking about here today?
Today, we're going shopping again.
We go shopping a lot here in English Pod, but this is an upper intermediate level lesson, so
Right.
we've got some very specific terminology to cover.
Exactly. We're going shopping for a digital camera, so we're going to be talking about very specific, maybe a little bit technical vocab related to this very...
Background sound, also known as ambience or atmos. These sounds fill in the empty void on screen and give a sense of location and the surrounding environment. These types of sounds include room tone, traffic, and wind. Background effects, BG also called, do not have a direct correlation to any specific event on screen. For example, if a gust of wind blows through an open window and extinguishes a candle, the sound effect used would be a hard effect. However, if this scene takes place in the Sahara Desert and there are gusts of wind blowing, the sound effect used would be an ambience or BG effect.
Preview. Your attention, please. Please do not smoke in the terminal building. Smoking is only permitted in the specified smoking areas. Thank you. Preview. Preview.
Hard effects, specific sounds corresponding to visible actions such as footsteps or door slams. These sounds must be synchronized accurately with visual or narrative events. Soft effects, background or environmental sounds not directly linked to the specific actions, like rustling leaves or distant noise, adding subtle enhancements to the recording. Electronic sound effects, production elements, popular as sources for science fiction effects in the 1960s and 1970s. Electronic sound effects are now used mainly as source material for sound design effects or as production elements. Production elements are the electric static, zips, and whooshes heard during the radio station IDs and the wipes and title elements used on the television shows and commercials. The use of production elements for movie trailers, sound beds, and title elements became popular during the 1990s. These elements are metaphorical in nature and purely subjective in their use. Foley, the reproduction of an everyday sound effects in a studio setting, often used to match on-screen actions. Foley artists use various materials and objects to create realistic sounds which are synced with the visuals or audio content. Named after the sound pioneer Jack Foley, Foley artists enhance fight scenes with clothes movements and impacts. They use knife and fork movements to give a dinner sequence a touch of reality, and they throw paper up in the air for its scattering sound to give the on-screen bang vault explosion life. Automated dialogue replacement (ADR), also refers to as looping, is a post-production technique used to re-record dialogue that was not captured cleanly during the initial recording. In the early days of film production, each re-recording line of dialogue was played on the loom of film, allowing actors to repeat their lines in sync with the footage. Modern techniques use computers to loop the section of video, which is where the automated part of ADR comes from. ADR is typically used when the original dialogue is compromised due to the noise, technical issues, or changes in the script, allowing actors to re-record their lines in a controlled environment, ensuring clarity and synchronization with the original video. When ADR is used in podcasting, while less common than in film and television, can still be an essential tool, depending on the type of podcast and its production values. Here's how ADR might be used. Improving dialogue quality. Yes, if a podcast episode has poorly recorded dialogue due to background noise, microphone issues, or pure acoustics, ADR allow for the re-recording of dialogue in controlled environment. This ensures high quality audio and clarity. Replace of editing inappropriate, incorrect content. If a podcast contains offensive language or content that needs to be censored after the recording, ADR can replace those parts with cleaner, more appropriate dialogue. In cases where the host or guest make mistakes during recording, mispronunciations, wrong facts, or awkward phrases, ADR allows them to re-record just those sections, keeping the episode smooth without requiring a full retake. Consistency in sound quality. Podcasts that involve multiple recording in different locations or sessions may end up with inconsistent audio quality. By using ADR, host or guest can re-record their parts in the same environment or with the same equipment, ensuring the entire podcast has a uniform sound quality. Adding a replacement voiceovers in narrative podcasts, especially scripted ones, audio dramas, or documentary-style podcasts, ADR is often used to add or replace voiceovers. It might be necessary to redo narration after the initial recording to adjust tone, pacing, or clarity. Creating special effects or enhancing dialogue for fictional podcasts. For audio dramas, ADR might be used to refine character dialogue or add in lines that weren't initially recorded. Podcast trailers or promos. When producing trailers, intros, or promotional content for podcast, ADR can be used to record voiceovers that weren't part of the main episode, but are necessary for marketing or teaser content. International or multilingual podcast, ADR is sometimes used for podcast translations or dubbing when a show is presented in multiple languages. Rather than subtitles, some multilingual podcasts prefer to fully re-record sections of dialogue in a different language to make them accessible to international audience. Now let's explore some practical techniques for recording different sound types. Dialogue recording. Shotgun microphones are typically used for capturing clear dialogue due to their directional pickup pattern, which focuses on the speaker and minimizes background noise. Proper mic placement is essential, usually positioned close to the speaker's mouth but out of frame in film or unobtrusive in podcasting, either above or below the speaker. A quiet, controlled environment is key to avoid interference from external noises, and using soundproofing or acoustic treatment helps improve clarity. Ambient sound recording. Omnidirectional microphones are ideal for capturing environmental or ambient sounds as they pick up audio from all directions. Mic placement should be central to the environment, ensuring it captures the full soundscape without obstructions. It's common practice to record room tone for several minutes to provide a consistent sound bed in post-production. Wind protection, such as windscreens, may be necessary for outdoor recording to minimize unwanted noise. Foley recording. Yes, Foley recording artists use various tools and surfaces to recreate realistic sounds in a controlled studio environment, syncing the sound effects with the visuals or narrative content. Proper mic placement depends on the specific sound being recorded, with the condenser microphones often used for their sensitivity and ability to capture detailed sound. Foley sounds are often layered during recording or post-production to create more complex and realistic soundscapes, enhancing the overall audio experience. To conclude this part, yes, what we covered the fundamentals of audio interfaces, recorders, and different types of sound in podcasting. Make sure to apply these techniques in your next recording session for professional sounding podcast. Thank you. See you.